better than nothing, I guess. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Let me tell you about my new side job trying to pick up my pay. So, anyway, I didn't think my pay would show up for about 4 total weeks because uh, I had, inquired about my, employee number, and I was pretty concerned about that. It was like every other day that the district manager would show up, she'd say, I do your employee number, but I didn't bring my laptop, or I brought my laptop and we'll do your employee number, and we never got that done. So I'd say probably 7 times that was mentioned. You know what? I don't think this is the right exit. It's so dark, but half the lights are out over here in this place. So let me go try this side. So anyway, and that was my biggest problem, I guess. Well, I don't know. The drama and the stress from the job was really the biggest problem. The next one was payroll. I can't work for you 4 weeks and you can't pay me my first paycheck. I have a huge problem with that. So that's why I was so busy looking for other jobs, because I was wasting time working for them if I was going to have to, wait 4 weeks so I could work for somebody else and get paid by the day or by the week, or even at 2 weeks I would have a paycheck before that place. So anyway, the girl that's manager over me, which I was originally given that job, um, it seemed like she really didn't know anything about her job at all. Um, on several different occasions, really strange. I, I don't know how they would ever make somebody a manager if they either just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know, because when you ask a manager when is payday, and I get asked that, like 4 times while I was there, including when I was hired by the DM. Um, I get different little answers. And when I asked her, wow, that was some kind of weird driving right there. Holy heck. Um, and, uh, like I guess the day before that I quit, I was on the floor with her and I said, so when exactly is the payday? And she said, well, I'm not sure. Beep. Wrong answer. But anyway, I'm like standing there like going, okay. And uh, but they put the payroll in. I'm like, when is the payroll cut off? Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, how long after the payroll cutoff point is the actual pay? She says about a week. I said, okay. So now I've got a foggy idea. Okay, right. This is what I'm thinking. I've got a foggy idea now. Okay. So she doesn't know when the payroll cutoff point is. She doesn't know the date the payroll comes in, but she does know that it's about a week after the payroll cutoff. That's just beyond me. But anyway, I was like, okay. So then a little bit later, I said, well, so would my payroll have any bearing on the fact that I don't even have an employee number? Wouldn't that be a slight problem for me to get payroll? She said, yeah, you won't get paid this pay period, which was, from what I understood from a couple other folks, it was going to be that next week, which would end this week. So somewhere between Monday and Sunday, they were supposed to get the payroll, I guess, shipped to the store. I don't know. I'm not sure how they exactly do that. I think somebody told me they would ship it to the store. So anyway, some places it's all automated, some places mail it, some places send a courier, some places ship it overnight. It depends on the company how they do their payroll, and because that's a big corporate, that they're usually going to do it on time, I would imagine. So anyway, it's like my phone is on Zoom or something. So anyway, uh, I had asked her. I said, well, so if I'm not going to get any pay on this next pay period here, then when will my pay come? She said, oh, it'll be the next one. That's 2 weeks after this one. And then it'll be the pay cutoff date in another week after that. And then you'll get your pay. So I'm going, okay, now this store is scheduled to close in 4 weeks from the week before. I was told they were closing in 4 weeks. And normally, I've shopped at their stores in the NOLA area. And usually, they have one out in Metairie, and they have one in another place over in NOLA. And I will go to both of them. Because my daughter and I love them. They're just too much fun to go to. And because they have really big sales. Uh, and so you want to get in there and buy what they've got. And it's cheaper than what their website will run. Because they have a website that runs all year round. So you want to jump on those sales, grab stuff up because it's like really cheap. It's like over half off. And so anyway, I was truly concerned here because if the store is closing in 4 weeks, I guess I would get all my pay for the whole month. Or over a month's worth of pay, probably on the 4th week, right? I'm not game for that. I cannot work for somebody and get paid by the month. Can't do it. No, can do. Even when I teach English online to the Orient, I get paid every 2 weeks, and that's about as long as I want to wait. When I ship on eBay, as soon as I ship out and the post office scans it that it's been accepted, then the payment starts processing, but I don't get it just then. And then generally it takes, when the customer receives it, but lately eBay has been pretty good about doing it a couple days after it's been scanned at the post office, even if it's not being delivered. And even when I do the auction site that I work on too, when I run my auctions, I get paid like 24 hours after the customer receives it, but that's not 4 weeks. Neither of those are 4 weeks. So I just can't do that, So, I mean, in the old days, they used to like hold your first paycheck back and all that. You could just take forever. But because of the pandemic, a lot of places sped up their payment systems because people can't afford gas to go to work. Is rule one, especially gas going right back up again. We're going to go into the same problem where they're going to have to, a lot more places are going to have to start paying daily pay because people aren't going to come to work if they don't have gas money, So, and places like Dollar Tree and some other places do daily pay. And then JobStack, that employment app, there haven't been a whole lot of jobs on JobStack. There's only been 2 really cool jobs I would have liked to have taken in the past 2 weeks. One, I think it was sent today, I believe, for signing on with the banquet system at the convention center on Okaloosa Island, which is a really good thing to get into. If you can get signed up with people to run banquets of any kind, whether it's in the hospitality industry or a contract like with the convention center thing, they'll always call you. And it's real short. It's 3 or 4 hours. You might be, running liquor. You might be running food. And people tip really, really good. And, they pay like that day. So that's really a nice effect. I love doing banquets. I've always loved doing them. And there was one hotel that I worked for a few years in California. They would call me in, and I was bartending at other places, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do this banquet? You know, for a bunch of engineers or whatever." I'm go, "Yeah." So anyway, um, so I had given notice Saturday or Sunday. I'm thinking Sunday to my DM. I had sent her a text message because she didn't answer her phone, and she's busy running 3 stores and her little maid business. And uh, told her that I quit, and mainly because I can't wait 4 weeks for my payroll and work it too. I just can't. Um, so, um, and told her I really appreciated her and everything and all that. 'Cause I do like her as a person. I really do. Um, but and there no hard feelings to her. But anyway, this sucker looks drunker than poopy, and they're probably just playing on the phone right here. Oh yeah, people drive me hard. I'm gonna drive. But anyway, so I wish I would have ordered dinner when I work because. But anyway, so I'm trying to drive and talk at the same time here. And we've got so many tourists here right now. I'm trying to go over this way so that I catch a bite, a little cheapo quick bite, because I have access to all kinds of fine dining at a discount. But anyway, because I work for the folks. Anyway, and I stopped to tell you guys that story. So anyway, it was Saturday or Sunday. I'm thinking it's Sunday morning because I didn't want them to be hung up, waiting on me or anything else. And I really didn't care about being fired. I would rather quit first because that's exactly what I intended on. I had enough. So I can only do so much, really. That was the worst job I have ever had in my entire life. And I mean, I've dug holes on construction sites. I have done so many different jobs. That was just the absolute 100% worst job I ever worked in my life, and I don't wish that on anybody. I'm so glad my daughter never had to work there or put up with that kind of crap, because I used to tell her all the time when things would get problematic at work, I'm like, go through management, go through chain of command, and if it just doesn't get fixed, get the heck out. You do not have to put up with it. You are young. You can change jobs 100 million times in your whole lifetime. I don't care what anybody says. Do not work a crappy job. I don't care how much the pay is. And I was getting almost $20 an hour at this joint as a manager. So, and I just want to go in as a stalker. I didn't even want a management job. But because of all my experience, they were like begging me to, and I'm like, I really didn't want it. But anyway, I didn't even have any managerial duties all the time I was there. That's how screwball that was. But anyway, it's like, okay, thank you, I'll take that pay. But anyway, so Monday, I sent a text message to the manager over me in the store, and because we have like 5 managers or something, they like to open with 2 and close with 2. It's just some procedure they do. I think that's a bit much. I think one manager for open, one for close is pretty cool. And then at least one employee with you when you close or open, so no one's alone. I have a friend that's dead over a situation like that, where she closed by herself and she worked by herself, and that was not a cool thing. And I'll never ever forget that. My friend Mia Shea Brown, who was very close to my daughter, my youngest daughter. So anyway, I sent notice to my manager. I guess it was Monday morning, after 9 a.m. and the store doesn't open until 11, I think. So I think the mall opens at 11, and then it closes like at 7. It's a failing mall. And they don't care because they're getting ready to condemn a lot of it. So they don't care. But anyway, so it never used to be like that though. So anyway, I never received a response about thank you for bringing all that food. That was really nice. That was really kind. The people really appreciated it. Never got any response from anyone. Not from the manager over me and not from the district manager. I was really, really surprised. Because I was losing almost $20 an hour just playing that game. To try to get that stuff before I went to work, and it kind of drug out all day. Only because the church lady, she's quite elderly, and her phone went to airplane mode, and she felt terrible when she called me back, because she couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong with her phone because she didn't get my calls or messages. And that's okay. Those things happen. I was very lucky and very blessed to be able to pull that whole deal off. It took 2 days to get that going and to actually get the product, for my coworkers that are starving. So, it was just really wonderful. Okay, for me, it was wonderful because I love to help people and do kind things. It's amazing I could pull that off when I couldn't even pull off food for my own self. How do you like that? So, I went like 4 days with no food, just recently, But anyway, so, I get no response from my manager or the district manager when I sent a message that I had quit. And I wanted to make sure that my manager knew because I kind of figured she may never know. Because the district manager, may not ever tell her. It's just that way. It's like everything's real flaky in this business for some reason. I don't know. I've never worked for a place like this. Ever. I've never, ever. Now, I worked in retail for a great many years. I've never. Very messy. But anyway, it's not mine. I don't own it. No big hairy deal. I just want it out. I didn't need the stress. And it's so much better. Oh, the days are so much better. So anyway, it's bad enough that you have to bow down and kowtow to other people. You got to go work for them and not work for yourself. But, if you need the money, you got to do what you got to do. And you got to, really kiss butt and bow down and do the best job you can. Like it's the very first job you ever had. And really impress and be nice to people. Try to, make friends with your crew so everything will be smooth. And that place sure didn't go like that in any kind of way. Period. None. But anyway, so this morning, about 10 a.m., I think it was like 10:03, I'm getting ready to go into my other job. Okay. Text message flies across my phone from my manager that says, "Oh, by the way, your payroll is here." And I sent her a message back, "Thank you ever so much for letting me know. I don't know that I will make it today. I'm out of town. But I really appreciate you and have a blessed and profitable day." She doesn't respond. So I go to work. I end up having to lay over a little bit to help out. And they asked me if I would. And I said, well, sure. I was already there. Whether it's another hour or 3 more hours, I don't care. It was a sit-down job anyway, so hey, and I'm getting paid real good over there too. So And I gotta tell you guys all about this other job stuff. You'll never believe it. It's like when it rains, it pours, but it was raining money. As soon as I could try to escape this other place, it was raining money for me, and everybody wanted me. So, which was a really great feeling because I was really sad over that other place. It was just, ugh, and creeped me out. It was to the point it was creepy. Okay. So anyway, so the store closes at 7. So I got out of work about um, just a hair before 7, and I figured I could get over there in time before they closed the store out completely, tidying up, counting the money because it takes them forever to count money. They count it up in their hand instead of dealing it out on the desk. They count it up in their hand. It's so weird. It's like a 6-year-old counting it. I don't know. I worked in a grocery store. We counted different than that. I learned how to count money in the grocery store and the casinos, working the casinos. But anyway, so yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd just jump on over there. And as I'm getting ready to go into the employee entrance of the mall is closed. It closed at 7. I was there at 7:09. So I went in the employee entrance, and went out to the door. They had the roll down door, which is see through and slotted. Uh, and I dialed the phone to my manager, who was right there, not 30 feet from me, at the desk counting the money. And other employees were going around and organizing the store because that's what you do when you close. Everybody has to make sure all the shelves and stuff's picked up off the floor because the place is a living nightmare. It gets tore up all day long and nobody picks it up till closing. So people step all over everything. It's a mess. Because nobody wants to work. They want to stand around the cash register and not check. Only one checker. And 8 people be standing there. So anyway, that's all day long. So anyway, I dial her phone. She doesn't answer, basically, because she's counting money. So she probably doesn't even pay attention to that sucker. Um, uh, and so I call through the thing her name, hello, and she looks up, oh, hi. And I said I was wondering if it was okay for me to pick up my payroll um, because I was out of town. And I just thought I'd drop on by. And she's like, sure, yeah, you can. Um, if you want to wait for us to close store and everything, then we'll bring it out to you. So that would be another 30 minutes or an hour, right? So I said, okay. 30 seconds later, she looks up and she says, but security will throw you out before then. Do you believe that? Do you even believe this is the kind of people I work around? Just trash. So anyway, or maybe I'm just taking it wrong, but that didn't settle with me very lightly. I mean, if she'd have said, "Oh, no, not tonight," or "Come back another time," or something, but that was like, "Yes, but no." How do you do yes but no? You just contradicting yourself, or she's just trying to be obnoxious. I don't know. And she wasn't quite as obnoxious as the rest of that stuff in there. I got to tell you, I kind of liked her, kind of, but I didn't trust her, and I was right. But anyway, so I stood out there. Now I'm not going to have. I promise you, I am not having any problem with security there at all. I guarantee you, 100%. I'm not having any problem with the mall manager there. Period. 100%. Okay, I know all these people, and I'm definitely not having any problem with the owner of the mall. Period. Thank you. So I don't believe anybody's going to be throwing me out of the mall, especially when I know that I was an employee there, and especially if I dare to tell them that they intended on me working 4 weeks before I got my first paycheck. They would all be standing out there rapping with me, going, "Really? Are you really? What kind of place is this?" Um, so other than the fact she's the one that smarted off to not the mall manager, but the superior corporate people that handle the mall for the owner, and smarted off to him big time over the trash can scene because they took a bunch of garbage out there and threw it in the ground, all kinds of wood and racks and stuff, and threw it in the ground instead of breaking it down and disposing it in the dumpster like you would normally do. Other than fact, it's really not even supposed to be in the dumpster because they pay extra on the trash if you put anything in there other than trash, furniture, and all that other stuff's extra. One couch is $250. One couch goes out there and is tossed in the trash can or beside it. $250. But anyway, so yeah, that would not happen. So I thought really I would have to you know, sign up with the labor board and everything over this mess. I may still have to because I don't know what they've done. I don't know how many of my hours are correct. And the one redheaded girl that was really snotty to me, uh, 2 days in a row, that appeared to be in some sort of management there, which I wasn't told that to begin with. Uh, she's a real young redheaded girl. She may have jacked my hours too, but see, I write all my hours down and all my breaks, exact time, and how long it took, anything like that. Hey. And so I don't play. You gotta keep track because these corporates will get you any way they can. If they can get you for 25 cents on an hour, I mean, you're losing money. And they have the money, so make sure all your pay is there. Always check it because they will short you. Man, my daughter worked for a company that has several stores across states, and oh my gosh, they would short her all the time. One of her checks was like $250 short or something like that, an insane amount. And I'm like, do you realize your check is like $250 short? No, because she's not keeping track of it. I told her to keep it all in this little notebook, write everything down, and then you check it against the schedule they gave you, and you also check what you've got to note it. Because if you don't, when that paycheck comes, you just gave your money away. And you really need to let them know as soon as you get the paycheck if it's wrong. You didn't want to do it 6 months later and go, okay, so you shorted me 50, you shorted me 100 on this check. You need to do it right away so that they can go to payroll and analyze it and see what's up, and then turn around and get you your payroll right away, whether it be a cash thing or another payroll check added to it that they messed up. So because they will pay you right away, it doesn't take long for them to straighten crap like that out. It might be a couple days. um, I think the longest I've ever seen a screw up on a payroll with me was like a week. But it was a long time company I had worked for, and they paid me very well. And I was cool about it, because I was going to have another paycheck on top of that. So that was very cool, but all in all, really legitimately, if you're paying somebody, if their check is short, you should get that out ASAP, really, because that's a debt. That's your employee, and, you're abusing your employee. The more they get pissed off, the more they're not going to want to come to work. They're going to start being late, and it just creates negativity. And it just shows you're a really flaky business, you know? So you want to try to get that cleared up immediately when it's brought to your attention. So anyway, because they make mistakes all the time. I'm telling you. It's not every once in a lifetime. It's all the time. The corporates make mistakes. And it could be a computer thing, it could be whoever's adding it up, who knows. Documentation, time clocks, whatever. They always make mistakes. That's a promise. So, anyway, I was really not impressed with what I was treated this evening. Um, so anyway, this manager's son also worked with us, and I liked him a lot. He was odd but neat. Um, at work, he doesn't say but maybe three total words the whole day. He's to himself. He's always working away, and he doesn't talk. And I mean, like you can say hi to him, and he kind of nods his head, kind of military like. It's interesting, and I just liked him because his personality. He just always worked. He didn't get into people's bull crap and all that drama going on. He didn't jump into the stuff. He just worked and was very much to himself. Man, that gas just went up again and again. Mother of God. So anyway, um, I um, I'm so tired. I'm not as tired as I was yesterday, though, man. I worked the 2 jobs yesterday. So anyway, jump on this Wi-Fi real quick. Everybody's calling and texting me. Oh my gosh, my friends, not business. Fred Lobster's calling and texting me. That was a really good job that I wanted. Um, where I was gonna hostess and um, be a server and bus, and you get tipped on busser, you know. Um, that's a real cool thing. If you can get a busboy job, then you make out like bacon nowadays. And I basically, my forte is fine dining and hospitality industry, doing banquets and stuff, or being bar manager. I really like working for the hotels. One, because I like to wear that tuxedo. But anyway, so I love tuxedo service. But anyway, so um, uh, her her son, the manager's son, um, well, I told her, I said, well, it's okay. I mean, if you want, she's like, I have no way to get it to you. Well, there's big slots in that pull down garage door that closes the main entry to the store. And then the side doors are open. Okay. These are 2 glass push doors, and it just has 1 lock. And you know that's open in between those doors. So it's not it doesn't take an engineer like me 3 times over to figure that out. So, but anyway, I said, well, maybe you just slide it through the door when you have time. And she's like, I guess we could see about that. And then she called her son over, and he told him where the payroll was. He went back to go get it, and he was just recently promoted to um, backroom warehouse manager, which is also another job they had offered me and said they wanted me to be and learn. I was like, okay, but they gave it to him. He's real young anyway. I think he's about 19, actually. I could be wrong, but I believe he's about 19. So that's a really cool thing, becoming a manager at that age. But anyway, but hell, my daughter, my babyest girl, was doing management before she was even 18. You know, she's good. She's good. That joker, she's good at work. But anyway, so I just stood there patiently, and then next thing you know, he he comes up and says, "Go over to the side doors." I said, "Okay." So I bopped over there. That's like 15 foot, and he just slid it right through the 2 doors. I said, "Thank you so much. I love you. You have a blessed evening. I appreciate you." And I just bebopped right out of the mall. But that was creepy. Okay, totally creepy. Um, and so I was like, did they send one special for me? Oh, let's see, they send it UPS Express. So I maybe they sent all the payrolls like that. I don't know if it's just mine, but it is open. So I'm imagining that that's all the payrolls that were sent in that envelope. UPS Express, boy, I bet that costs big bad money. But now their shipping is a tax write-off there. Because they also have a website that may be shipping UPS on the website. Let me see what this is. Now, I don't know if this is just a part of my payroll or all of it. Hoping it's all of it. And I hope to God it's not short. UPS second day error. Gee whiz. You know that's big bad money. Okay, so there is just... I have this same company, Wisely, which they use with JobStack. Boy, I hope this will work because I already have an account with them. And I'm probably going to have to set up the card and do all kinds of crap, which I really don't feel like doing tonight. Wisely card is here. Boy, I hope this doesn't contradict my other card with the payroll department. So, got a bunch of papers in here. What's this? A paper check with nothing on it. Nothing on it at all. Maybe that's just a check for the Wisely Pay thing. I don't remember getting that with my other card. So far, I'm not seeing anything but all the paperwork for the Wisely stuff. See, they give you this card. Some more info about the card. And more info about the card, but it doesn't show like a check stub or anything at all. It's just the card. You know what? I don't know if there's even any money on this card. I think it's just the card. Honestly, I think that all this is the card. There's nothing in here with paycheck stuff whatsoever. This is going to be interesting to set this card up. God, I hope it'll work because I already have a pay card by that company. That'll be interesting. Anyway, so there you have it. I'm gonna send a message to my DM because she's still at one of the stores and ask her if she knows if there's actually money on the card because I received no payroll check stub or anything. So, and you know darn well I won't be able to access the website for the company because I quit, right? You know they'll deactivate my account. I really sincerely doubt I can get in there and look in there. I can't do it right now anyway. I'm not in my office, so. But anyway, like I said, I could let you guys know. I'm gonna do a review of working for them in another vlog, and of all the good and all the bad, just one big long thing. I'm really hoping that they put all my payroll on my card, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. Because otherwise, I'm definitely going to go to labor board, which is harder here than it is in California. In California, you call it, it's like magic. Boom, 24 hours they're paying you, or they lock the doors to the business. I don't know how they handle it in Florida. I've never had to do that in Florida. Um, so it may be a little different. But um, we shall see. But they don't have a very good reputation of paying people. Like I mentioned before about that young man that I work with. And I mean, this the manager told me this like the first day I worked there. This guy has not been paid since the first day the store opened. And what is that, like 4 months ago? Are you kidding me? And he's still coming to work? Dude, I'd have been right down the street. There's lawyers all over this town. I'd have been to the first lawyer. Forget labor board. I would have been to the first lawyer. That's federal charge. You cannot have people just keep working for you, and you don't pay them. And if you're a corporate, you better run. You would better run because um, there are so many fines with that, you know. And I would be surprised if somebody didn't go to jail over that because you cannot do people like that. And that young man I worked with, I bet he's about 19, and you're telling me he's never got a paycheck since the store opened? Wrong. He must live on his own because his parents would have been down there going crazy. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. And then they wonder why people call in continuously every single day. Well, maybe all of them can't seem to get their pay or all of it or something. But I've never heard of such a thing where somebody doesn't get paid for, months. Never in my life. I, again, I'm not fool enough to go for that. If you can't afford to pay me or you're too lazy to pay me, whatever that excuse may be, I'm out of there. I'm so out of there. I cannot do that. I got burned one time many years ago working for a lady for I don't know, maybe a year bartending for her, and I also worked at Holiday Inn, was bar manager at the Holiday Inn in the Valley. Um, and um, I worked for her bartending in a little beer bar, and she would pay me cash. And you just, you know, um, sometimes she let you take it out of the cash register, the end of the shift, or she would say, okay, well, tomorrow I'll come and pay you in the morning when you open or something. So she was pretty good about it. Well, I had 2 weeks worth of pay all of a sudden. And these guys come in and they were partying in the club and tipping me 20s and 50s and stuff. And this real nice looking English guy. His name was Malcolm Parker. And he had a Rolls Royce uh, parting company. He would part out Rolls Royces and then recondition them and sell the parts. And he made huge money. Plus, he was into construction. And they were sitting at a bar partying one night, tipping me big time and having a great time, like four guys. And that place didn't attract those kind of people. It was just an old timey beer bar and one pool table, and it wasn't one of those that ever gets filled up. If you were lucky, you'd have a full bar, but nobody sat at tables or anything else. But most of the time, it was just a neighborhood kind of joint, and you might have 3 or 6 people at a time in there. But my tips were always killer. I made huge tips there. Um, and I would sing behind the bar and stuff and all that, and I used to have a blast in there. And so uh, the one guy, Malcolm, hit. I was sitting next to him. I was sitting at the edge of the bar while I was working, and we were talking. He's like, "Come sit over here and talk to me." We were talking and laughing. He's like, "I'll buy you a drink." I'm like, "No, I never drink behind the bar." And so, um, he reached over, gave me a big hug. They were laughing and joking around. And uh, I got up and said, I've got to go to the loo real quick. And he leaned over and whispered in my ear. He said, you'll find something in your back pocket that'll make you come to work for me. I went, excuse me? What does this make you come to work for me? So I went and served a couple drinks real quick, ran to the loo, reached in my back pocket, and there was $100 bill in my back pocket. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm thinking this is going to be some deal that I'm not going to like. I'm giving him this money back. And so I went back behind the bar. And you know damn well I went and looked to see, what that was. He said he put in my back pocket. And so I walked over to him and went to serve him some more. And he said, I'm buying this bar. I said, yeah, sure. He said, no, I really am. I said, no, that lady's never going to sell. It was a little Filipino lady named Nita. And it's funny, I worked for two Nitas. And this lady's name, her real name was Amparo Jones. And everybody called her Nita. She said her name was Nita. So, a lot of these Filipinos are renaming themselves American names. I don't know what the deal is with that. Anyway, and I really liked the owner, I thought she was, a really cool cat. And she really respected me because I always showed up for work. I was never late. I never called in, you know. Um, but so anyway, I thought she'll never sell this bar. And he said, no, really? He said, I'm buying this bar. I said, no, you're not. And I said, what would you do with this bar? And he's like, you'll see. He said, that money in your back pocket, I'm hoping it will influence you to come work for me because I want the bar and you. And I went, yeah, sure. Um, you know. So closed up that night. I made huge money off those guys. Probably about $400 in tips. That was a lot of money back then. And I mean, even my pay in beer bar pay back then was like 25 to 35 a shift cash, usually, if you work for somebody for cash. That was the going rate. Cocktails was 50 to 75, if you worked cash. But anyway, as time went on, he kept showing up in the place and everything, and he'd come in and he'd have one beer. And he's like, I just came from my business, here's my card. And sure as heck, he hands me this card with Rolls Royce on it. And it was called Windsor Auto Parts. That's what it was called. Windsor Auto Parts. And it was, in the valley. And I was like, what the heck? This guy's got money. He's doing anything with Rolls Royce. And so he would like rebuild them or sell you parts. And I mean, just the marquee off of Rolls Royce is like $3,000, So, and I'm sure it's higher now. So anyway, he did Rolls Royce and Bentley. That's what he did, the parts for that. And then he would rebuild, fix people's cars and stuff too. But mostly parts. But anyway, so he's coming in there more often, and then he brought his father-in-law in. He was going to do most of the construction, and he's talking about ripping walls out and ceilings and hanging chandeliers and doing all kinds of stuff, like just ripping floors up. And they did it while we were operating. I never see Nita anymore. And I said, well, I wish Nita would hurry up and come pay me because she owes me like 2 weeks worth of pay. He said, really? He said, I've been trying to work this deal with her for like 2 weeks. And he said, well, I bought it. And I said, what the heck? And I didn't even have this lady's number, I don't think. I think she just would call me at the club or show up. I didn't know where she lived, you know. Man. So I had 2 weeks of my pay. I got jerked on. Yeah. She split never, ever did pay me. And when I tried to file with labor board, they couldn't do anything because it changed ownership, and they couldn't find her. I mean, maybe she went back to Philippines. I don't know. But I'll never forget that. You cannot let it drag out because they're going to take off on you. And so I guess she just assumed when she sold it, she, killed the debt with me, my payroll. That's bad because somebody paid her money for the club. I know he paid her good money for that club because he wanted it really bad. He wanted to make it an Irish, English pub. And it became a very successful English pub. Trust me. They took a hole in the wall and really did a number with it. Nice place. Oh, it was so nice. Um, and did it all while we were open. It was amazing. And then that's when I joined the dart team in California and used to travel to a bunch of different clubs and be in competition and stuff. That was pretty fun. Did it for a long while. Really loved that. hmm But yeah, so be real careful when you're working for other people. Don't let them slide on that money. And don't let them slide too long. Jump the gun before they do. If they're screwballing you around, they're going to drag it out. You get on that phone or write that letter, whatever it takes to get through to labor board immediately. And because that needs to be reported. And most probably you're not the only one. So get them caught. And if they ever reopen up in business again, they will have serious problems because they got a bad history. But don't let them slide. I mean, that's the whole idea of employing people. When you have enough money to employ others, then you're making money. So why are you making money not paying your employees? You see what I'm saying? That's not cool. Um, and that was really dirty for me. I was young, and people took advantage of me like that. It was just bullcrap. But I mean, I could work anywhere in California. I knew everybody and everything up and down the state. I lost a job today. I could get a job tomorrow. I could call people and go, "Hey, you need a bartender? Hey, you need a waitress? Hey, I mean, I could call people, and if there wasn't anything in the food and beverage industry or hospitality industry, man, I was like park the car and hoof it and knock on every door and asking them, what do you have? You have warehouse work, or I'll sweep or I'll dig holes. You do whatever you have to do, and then when you find something else, you can always change, but always thank them because you might have to come back. You want to leave that door open. You want to leave a friendship. You don't want to go, hey, take this job and shove it. You want to be polite. You never know if you have to deal with those people again in your future life. So be nice about it and polite. And, there's an old saying someone told me many years ago, kill them with kindness. Okay? That's my rule number one, kill them with kindness. Rule number two is I know who to contact in law. You know, do it legally. Don't lose it, go crazy, or say anything that's wrong. Just go after it legally, and handle them legally. Don't do it any other way, because it gets you in trouble, and you won't have a good reputation. You don't want anybody to say anything bad about you, you know, just do it the right way. There's plenty of people out there you can write a letter to, call whatever labor board, um, the EEOC. There's all kinds of different people you can contact about jobs you're working for people, and get them slammed. Um, it can be done. It can be done. And if it's bad enough, they'll pull a business license. As a matter of fact, I know somebody that had their business license pulled in one entire state that will never go back in business over there because they screwed up not paying an employee all their wages. Yep. And it ended up being a humongous lawsuit. And many thousands of dollars. I think it was over $100,000 in lawyers' fees and everything else, because this person had to pay the employees' lawyer fees and the back payroll and fines and all kinds of other crap and their lawyer fees. And you know, they had come to me a couple times about, I see, how much do you owe the kid? Well, he's claiming I owe him, $1,500. I said, you know what, that $1,500 is going to grow like you can't believe, like mold. And this person said, nah, I got a solid case and I have proof. And I said, well, you never know what day it is for the judge. Hope you catch him on a good day. You never know. When it hits that court, you better hope that judge is in a good mood, because you can lose. I'm telling you, judges are funny. No matter what you got, you could fall either way, good or bad. So it felt bad for that person. And it cost them so much money they almost had to bankrupt out. Yeah, over like a $1,500 debt. It got gigantic real quick. So, yeah, and now that person is no longer allowed to do business in the state of Tennessee at all. They do have, businesses in other states. It's just in Tennessee they will never do business again. They're banned from the state of Tennessee to get a business license or operate a business there. So yeah, and I didn't even know they could do that. I was very surprised, but that's what ended up happening. And that's fact, because I also read up on it online. It was online, and I was really surprised. It was like, boy, just like I told the owner of the company, I said it might be cheaper just to pay them off, to shut them up and make them sign a document that they're forever paid and the debt is free and clear. But no, from $1,500 to, like over $100,000 it cost them. It's not worth it. I'd rather pay the $1,500 and look stupid, get them signed a document, never sue me, everything's clear, be done. I'd probably give them a couple extra hundred just to make sure they really shut up. Like, here's a happy birthday, Christmas, buy your girlfriend a gift, whatever. Here's a couple extra hundred. So they don't come back like the plague. Gosh, I saw it coming. Boy, I saw it coming. Yeah, so anyway. But yeah, so there you have it. That happened this evening. And I was very shocked, very unprofessional, very strange. Um, but hopefully it's over. I don't know. But I'm gonna send a message to my DM, because I know she's at one of the other stores still, and inquire to see if my pay is on there at all, if it's all of my pay or a portion of my pay. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's a portion of my pay and I quit, it says Florida state law that on the next payroll day I am supposed to receive all of my pay, 100% of it. So, because I quit in time, apparently, and today's payroll day, I'm assuming they got it today. They might have got it days ago. I don't know. But I'm assuming, because I was notified this morning, they got it this morning. But, or I could look at the date on this envelope. That all of my pay should be in there by law. But I'm just hoping to be able to write this whole mess off and be done with it and never have to worry about it anymore. But very disappointed. I've been a customer with Spencer's for a great many years, since I was like a kid. Really love the company from California. That's where I did business with them the most. And then the Spirit Halloween, I've done business with them probably, gosh, 6 or 7 years, maybe more. I don't know. I spent a lot of money with them, but I spent more money with the Spencer's Corporation, though. Yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And don't let anybody make a fool of you. They're trying to. Yeah, you know what? I'm like Smiling Jack. That's right. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a great one. And I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. That's right. Do something kind for a stranger. Love everybody. And too much of a good thing is wonderful. More should take a lot of that. I love you.